What is going on, everybody? This is Will at Clutch Attitude, the podcast. One more time for another prediction. This time is going to be UFC Fight Night. Johnny Walker against, I always get it wrong, but Yang Mingyang from China. This fight night is going to take place in China, in Shanghai Indoor Stadium in a district in China. But anyways, let's start off. I have here the main card only because I want to make this short, sweet, and it's tough because some of the fighters in the prelims, I haven't had any time to pretty much look at them. Machade against Gage Young. Charles Johnson, of course, we know him against Lonier Kavanaugh. Pretty much I know Miguel Pereira, Paudacus, and I don't know, guys, but some of these fighters right here is Yao Long, around Satibaldiev. I just, I haven't looked at these guys for, I haven't looked at their fighting probably ever. But anyways, Austin Hubbard, I know he was in the Ultimate Fighter. Charles Johnson, veteran of UFC. Gage Young, I think he could be able to beat Machade. But anyways, let's go over to the main card, which is going to start at 6, and probably I'm going to be able to watch it over here in Florida. First of all, this main card starts at 6 a.m. Eastern Time. We're going to have the first bout is going to be Taiyil Aki Nuraji. 11-1 with a one no contest. He's from China, 6'2", long, rangy. The guy has a 5-inch advantage in reach over Khyfer Crosby. I think Taiyil Aki is going to beat the brakes off Khyfer Crosby, who not that good of a fighter. I'm not impressed. Taiyil Aki has the reach in the legs. He's got the reach in the arms, and I just think he's a much better fighter than Khyfer Crosby. So yeah, I'm gonna take Taiyil Aki Nuraji to have a first round finish against Khyfer Crosby. Khyfer Crosby has a big mountain to climb against Taiyil Aki on this one. So let's go ahead and go to the second one. This one is a much closer, probably the closest fight in the main card to me. It's going to be Sumedarji against Kevin Borjas. Kevin Borjas, we know he's got that win against Rodriguez, and I don't know. I just think that, I don't know, guys. To me, I think this is going to be a decision win by Kevin Borjas. I think he's very experienced with these types of fighters in the range. I think he could go inside, score some points, go out. I think this is probably going to be the only Chinese guy that's going to lose this whole card. After I've seen the prelims, I think the Chinese guys were opposed, had not good opposition. So I just think this one is going to be that. But anyways, Kevin Borjas' decision most likely takes, I would say, let's go with a 30-27. I think Kevin Borjas has a chance to win all 3 rounds, and that's my prediction on this one. Even though Sumedarji has advantage in the reach and also advantage in the legs, I think Kevin Borjas is going to take this as a unanimous decision, 30-27. Moving on to the heavyweight bout, Sergey Pavlovich against Waldo Salsa Cortez Acosta. One of my favorite fighters, Waldo Cortez Acosta, has, again, a big mountain to climb against Sergey Pavlovich. I think he has this one, first round knockout. Unfortunately, Waldo Cortez Acosta, he does have great wins against Spivak, and also, he knocked out, let me see. He knocked out Brzezinski and also had a knockout as well as against Ryan Spann. But has a big mountain to climb. This is going to be his toughest fight, as as a heavyweight in the UFC. Splendid record of 14-1. He's from Dominican Republic, 6'4", just a tad bit taller than Sergey, and he weighs in as 265. Sergey, of course, it looks very, very built for a heavyweight. I don't believe this is right, a 14-inch reach advantage against Waldo Cortez Acosta. I don't know. I don't think Waldo Cortez Acosta has a 70-inch reach. But anyways, I do have Sergey Pavlovich to win first round knockout, and he's just gonna, it's better class. This is where I go as far as class goes. Sergey has more class than Waldo. Unfortunately, Waldo has been on the climb, but he's just gonna. This is too much. Sergey has wins against top 10 ranks before. We got Volkov, yeah, he lost that decision, but Curtis Blades, he's in the top 10. Sergey did knock him out. Sergey knocked out also Tai Tuivasa, and also knocked out Derek Lewis. We see here, he's got pretty good wins. Sergey, this loss against Aspinall is the big loss that he's had in his career. But anyways, he did have a decision against Jairzinho, so his last fight. So we are expecting better things from Sergey this time, and that's going to be a knockout in the first round. Let's move on to the big news. Big news this yesterday and most of today has been the health of Brian Ortega. He came in to the waiting looking really rough, man. Looking really rough. Looking like a guy pleading the case to be moved up to lightweight division. Some say that his better days are past him. I think he still has a chance to prove himself in the lightweight division, scoring wins against outside of the top 10 opponents. But yeah, there's plenty of featherweights that always impress me, and Brian Ortega was one of them. He's got great grappling, also good stand-up fighting as well. Very underrated to me. I don't know what y'all think, but to me, very underrated. Anyways, he comes in with a 16-4 with 1 no contest. His last fight was a loss. Let's see who it was with. I forgot. Diego Lopez, of course. He did score a win against Yair Rodriguez. That was a technical knockout. Oh, yeah, technical knockout. I thought he submitted Yair Rodriguez. But anyways, Volkanovski, he's got a title match right here against Volkanovski, which was a decision. Korean Zombie. Then we got Max Holloway. Yeah, he's fought the best of the best in the featherweight division, and then also he's got some fights in the lightweight division. Look at this: Moicano, Cub Swanson, Frankie Edgar. Anyways, this guy is pleading to go up to lightweight division, and that's where we're gonna see Brian Ortega go after now. Aljamain Sterling, of course, he's moving up from bantamweight, was a title holder at bantamweight, going up to featherweight. This is his second bout at featherweight. If I'm not mistaken. The Mofsar was his previous fight where he looked pretty good. Aljo did look pretty good, but I don't know. 5'7" against a 5'8", Brian Ortega, if he does come out miraculously good after that weight-in. This is a catchweight bout at 153. I think I don't know. I think it's gonna be a tough fight for Aljo, but I think he's gonna, given that Brian Ortega might not be 100%, I think that Aljo is gonna grapple his way into a win against Brian Ortega. Maybe a second round finish. Maybe Brian Ortega has some gas in the tank to survive the first round. But I think ultimately, Aljo is going to take it in the second round. Maybe a submission. If he does get a submission, Aljo, let's see if he's got any wins by submission. No. Yeah, he's got a Sanhagen submission. Oh yeah, I remember that one. But anyways, yeah, if he does grapple himself to a win, he might go down as a second round submission, maybe a knockout, maybe a TKO, just because Brian Ortega might be gassed out after that bad cut. But yeah, I'll take Aljo, second round finish. Second round finish for Aljo. Sergey, first round finish, and then Kevin Borjas, it's going to be a decision. I think Taiyil Aki Naraji is going to have a first round finish against Khyfer Crosby. And then let's move on to the light heavyweight bout, which is against Johnny Walker against Yang Mingyang. And that's going to be our main event or fight night in China. Johnny Walker needs a win. He pretty much needs a win. His last, let's see, how many has it been? 1, 2. Last 2 fights have been finished for the other guy. But anyways, Johnny Walker can always surprise. Now, this is not going to be the case, guys. This is not going to be the case. Yang Mingyang has plenty of power. He's going to be in his hometown his home country of China. Even though Johnny Walker looks bigger than him, even at the weigh-in, he looked bigger than him. Yang Mingyang, he's going to knock him out. It's going to be one of those crazy knockouts by Johnny Walker. Maybe his eyes roll backwards and then they come back from the other side out. And then probably he's going to do the worm, but upside down. That's probably going to be the finish. Yang Mingyang, even though doesn't have the reach here at all, even the leg reach is a 2-inch, just a 2-inch. Johnny Walker's built up here. But anyways, I think Yang Mingyang is going to be in decline at the moment. Possibly at some point gets a title fight in the light heavyweight division. But this is going to be one of those fights where he's going to have to be patient. Johnny Walker's going to come out with some kicks, he even might even grapple at this point, right? But anyways, I think Yang Mingyang has this one, probably a second round finish. Second round finish for Yang Mingyang. That's my ultimate prediction. Now let's go out again, do a quick summary. I'm going to go onto the prelims, some of the fights that I think are going to be interesting. There's Miguel Pereira against Kyle Dawkins. It's going to be a Miguel Pereira at minus 265. I think he's the better fighter in this bout. And then Charles Johnson, I think he scores a upset here against Kavanaugh. Then Gage Young, slight favorite. I think he's going to score that one. And moving on to the main card, I think Taiyil Aki Naraji is going to finish Khyfer in the first round. He's a big favorite, minus 425. First round to kick off the main card is going to be a finish in the first round. Then we move on to the second fight where Kevin Borjas, a slight underdog at plus 140, is going to take the submission against Sumuderji. Then we move on to the heavyweight bout where Sergey has too much class against Waldo Cortez Acosta. That's going to be a minus 250 favorite. Sergey Pavlovich is going to finish this fight in the first round against Waldo Cortez Acosta, who does not have the class, even though he is ranked in the top 10. Sergey is, paving himself into possibly a rematch against Tommy Aspinall. Let's see. Then we got a catchweight bout at 153 between Aljamain Sterling against Brian Ortega, minus 278 for Aljo. That's going to be, in my opinion, a second round finish, either by submission or TKO. Then we move on to the light heavyweight bout between Johnny Walker against Yang Mingyang. That is going to be, in my opinion, a Yang Mingyang second round knockout or finish. I believe it's just going to be a finish. Johnny Walker, eyes rolling backwards, coming up from the other side, backwards worm, and then Yang Mingyang might get a chuckle at this. Let's see, because Yang Mingyang does not laugh at all. But that was all, guys. Pretty much average card. I don't know. Not my best card, but hey, it's a 6 a.m. I'll be up. I'll be watching. So good luck to all. Good luck to all your bets if you do bet. Thank you so much for listening. Subscribe, like the video so that way it gets over to any other UFC fans and stuff like that. But thank you so much for listening to my predictions. God bless and take care. Bye bye.